Thinking of playing Secession, Stones River, 1862, Vivictus magazine game, Battle of Stones River or Murfreesboro. So this is The Warrior Generals, Combat Leadership in the Civil War by Thomas B. Buell. Rosecrans found Bragg 30 miles from Nashville in the town of Murfreesboro on the Stones River. Bragg, too, was looking for a fight and had conveniently moved his 37,000-man army there during the fall. Unlike Rosecrans' deliberate preparations, Bragg had hastily planned his offensive, giving his army no time to recuperate from Kentucky. The impetus for immediate battle was a mania to recapture Nashville at all costs. Its occupation was insufferable. The dream and the passion could not be extinguished. Hood would be similarly enraptured on this tragic crusade 2 years later. Bragg was eager to redeem his failure in Kentucky and had gone to Richmond in late October to discuss his plans to retake central Tennessee. Bragg's unreadiness for battle either was not recognized or was ignored by the high command. The common belief in Richmond was that Bragg had brought a wealth of stores with him from Kentucky, but other than unclaimed guns and some cattle, the rumored plunder was illusory. His army wore rags, marched on bare feet, and ate reduced rations. Food raised in Tennessee was reserved for Lee by order of the Richmond government. Bragg had to glean the leavings. Okay, so it's the Union action segment of the third action phase. I'm going to try to activate Crittenden again. Again, it's the same modifier, -1. -1 for Crittenden. The modifier here, -1 for the maneuver tactical option, +1 for the Union side. Oh, wow. 1. Yes, obviously that is no divisions. So that's a big nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna change that. That is interesting. So for three. Well, actually, let me see if the. All right. First of all, what happened? What happened is out of 3 action segments. Let's do a little analysis here. Out of 3 action segments, which are the 3 you will always get, we basically only moved 1 division. 1 division out of 3 activation phases. Now, because of the scenario rule? Now I'm trying to remember. Because of the I know why. Because both sides rolled a maneuver tactical option at the start of the battle. Because both sides did. There's a -2 on the continuation test. Well, if you roll 1 to 4 to continue to a 4th action phase, that tells me that you are automatically going to get a 4th. So in this case, we're going to automatically get a 4th action phase. And in this case, the Union needed. And okay, there's another thing. There's a -1 for also for the maneuver tactical option. So what would have happened? So what I'm looking at is 1. Yep. Yeah, it would have made a difference. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think there was another 1 rolled, I think. I'm going to assume that there was another 1 rolled in an earlier action phase. So these would have been... Anyways, because there would not be... If the Union side had not rolled a maneuver tactical option, it would have made a difference. There would have been 1, if not... Let me see. 1, if not... No, there would have been 2 more divisions activated than there were. So instead of 1 division activated, there would have been 3 divisions. So that's actually significant. That's what I'm looking at, the impact of these modifiers. Again, there's a -1 for every single activation activation, yeah, die roll. That's on both sides because both sides rolled a maneuver tactical option. And looking at the table, what I'm looking at is this. Right there, rolling a 1 to 3 is 1 division activated. So this is, that's a 0. Crichton -1 for Crichton, -1 for the tactical option, +1 for the Union side. That's per scenario rule. -1, 0, 0 of course is 0 divisions, but that would have been a 1. Okay, so now we go to the, I'm going to flip this over to the Confederate side for a Confederate activation segment. Again, it's the third action phase, and again, we're going to get a fourth one, and then we'll roll for a fifth one. Okay, so Confederate action segment here. Do we try to roll to maybe move McCown again? Or do we... Now that I'm looking at this, I think Wheeler could have probably been activated with McCown before, but I'm not going to change that. Or do we try to do... We don't have anybody that needs to be corrected for stacking. So what do we do? I know what. I'm going to try to activate... oh yeah, I'll select poke right here. So I'm rolling for activation table. It's -1 for the maneuver tactical option, 0 for his his own rating there. So I guess it's -1, right? Oh my! 1 and 0, and that's nothing. Wow, Polk is definitely going to be flipped over. Wow, that's a big nothing. Okay, so now we are going to go automatically onto a fourth activation phase, but obviously it's going to be the Union side. So it's the fourth action phase Union segment. I went ahead and going to activate Crittenden again. Crittenden. I rolled a 3, -1 for 2. That's 1 division. 1 division activated. He's going to activate the division that he's with here. They're going to move 1 along the road, 2, 3. Yeah. Leave BD behind here, there, like that. And now I want to look at leader movement. So Crittenden is back here. So how about leader movement itself? So a Corps Commander has 8 movement points. Well, 6 in this case because of the weather. Yeah. They can be moved each time they're activated. So he is going to move here with Beatty. All right, that is the Union activation phase. Okay, so it's Confederate activation segment. So Bragg chose Polk, -1 for his activation rating on the CHID, -1 for the maneuver tactical option for -2. Rolled a 6, -2 for 4. That is 2 divisions. And I realize now I don't think I have to decide ahead of time. I don't think I have to designate. I think I can go one at a time, I think. So I'm going to choose the purple division here, which is, by the way, so Confederate purple division is Cheatham. All right, so Cheatham's division here. By the way, here is what this is what we mean by isolation. So a brigade is required to begin and end its action phase. We're beginning an action phase here. Here's a brigade. Here are 2 more brigades, Stewart and Vaughn. And then here's Donaldson back here. So they must begin and end action phase 2 zones or fewer. 3 zones for mounted cavalry brigades from at least one other brigade of its division. The point being that they are 2 zones away from each other. Yeah. So no brigade begins isolated. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what, actually, I'm done. Okay, so let's go like this. These 2 are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3, 4, like that. That's not an artillery, right? No. If it were an artillery, that would be an issue. Like that. Then let's go 1, 2. And then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. So that's Cheatham's division, all infantry. Okay. Okay, so the 2nd division is going to be the blue one here. Polk's blue division, which is Withers. Yeah, Withers. Okay, so we're going to have our first combat. What we're going to do is Anderson's brigade is going to go, so I think this is all how this happens. 1, 2 along the road, 3, 4 for the attack. Now, realistically, probably should attack Thomas here in the clear, but for my first combat, I'm going to have Anderson attack Miller here in the woods. So I think at this time, I would mark it, and it faces the zone it's attacking, and then I continue on, right? So I'm going to leave Chalmers there, but Manigault is... Oh, I almost forgot about Loomis over here. So Loomis is going to move here. That's 1, 2. Manigault is going to move... I see how you have to keep your... You do have to keep your units oriented properly. Okay. So he pretty much has to go here. Doesn't have to, but to keep the, Loomis, 1, 2, Manigault, 1, 2, Chalmers, 1, 2, my attacker here, Anderson. Okay. Now the division's done. Now all the divisions are done, right? The purple moved, and now the blue moved. So now Polk's going to move. He's just going to move forward 1. Now I'm going to do the attack. I do believe that's right. Okay, so let's go through an attack. We have Anderson with 7-2 against Miller, which is 6-3. Why is Miller flipped over? I hope that's not a mistake, but I'm going to leave it. That's weird. I do not remember that. All right. Well, we're going to play it. So let's look at combat. Okay, so the basic procedure is this. Each player calculates his modifiers based on the strength ratio in the situation before rolling a die to determine the combat result. So I do believe, both sides rolling a die, which I really, really like. So strength ratio, 7-6. But how do I... Or it's 9-9 if I'm including the artillery. Add up the attacker's combat potential and divide it by the sum of the defender's combat potential. Determine the strength ratio. Well, it's 1-1, which is 0, so there is no strength modifier. Where's the artillery support? Okay, so that's just the strength ratio. So I do believe it's 7-6, which is 1-1, which is no modifier. Artillery support. Each player adds up the potential of the artillery brigades engaged in the combat and gets +1 for every 6 points. must mean these, right? For every 6 points, for the remaining points, roll a die. Might have to look for an example of this. Let's see if looking at the player aid card, plus X per artillery support. There's no fatigue involved here. No. So what is... Okay, let's look at what the artillery potential. Artillery potential represents the artillery batteries belonging to this brigade. The batteries each player adds up the potential of the artillery brigades engaged in the combat. So I'm not going to look at the example quite yet, but I do think it's these, but they don't have enough to have any. What am I supposed to... hang on. Okay, I'm going to run through this quickly. Basically, it is the artillery potential on these two brigades involved. Neither of them has 6 or a multiple of 6, so they don't get any automatic modifier. Instead, they're going to roll. Both sides are rolling. They're trying to get 2 or less. No. So the Confederate rolls a 6, which is not 1 or 2 to get a +1 there. Here, Miller needs to roll. Miller rolls a 6 too. He needs to roll a 3 or less to get them. So neither side got a +1 for artillery. Now we go to command for the attacker and defender per zone where there is at least one brigade with a command bonus. Neither side has a command bonus. I think the command bonuses are going to be the stars. Command bonus, yeah. Escarpment or wood. Oh yeah. Or +2 bridges for terrain. Defender. So the defender is in the woods. So I think Miller gets a +1 for being in the woods because it says defender. -1 per zone for a flank attack. I don't think either of these are flank attacks because Miller's facing this this area right here, which means that this area adjacent to that area is also his front. So I don't think there's any flank. -2 per zone if enemy brigade is not attacked. Oh, this does apply. I believe that this unit is going to give a -2 to the Confederates because this unit's not being attacked. That has to do with the whole concept of support, I'm assuming. Okay, so it's +1 for Miller, -2 for Anderson. And finally, there's cavalry in against force, doesn't apply. Okay, so let's do this. So again, Miller rolls a 1, +1 for the woods for a final of 2. Ooh, that is, I think he wants high. No, I think you do want high. Ooh, Anderson rolled a 1 as well. -2 for, wow. So is that -1? That is -1. Wow. Okay, so fatigue for Y. So Miller got more than Anderson, but not more than 2 times. Isn't that funny? I wonder if oh my. No, I must be thinking of another game. How funny. So it's just a fatigue. Fatigue for Y. X and Y means who's greater than, right? So Miller had greater than Anderson, so Anderson takes a fatigue. So I guess we just take a fatigue like this. Attack marker comes off. Anderson gets a fatigue like that. I think that's just it. I mean, they rolled near to each other. in final value. So I do think that's that. I'll do a quick check on that. Yeah, so I do think that was it. So that fatigue is going to be a negative modifier. Now specifically, that is, yes, that is a -1 for that unit in combat. The fatigue 1 can flip to a fatigue 2. I don't think you can get higher than fatigue 2, so I think any fatigue results after that, it just stays fatigue 2. That, of course, is a -2, like that. And then, did I get that? Yeah. Wait, is there? I don't see. No. I'm looking for. No, I don't see more than a fatigue 2. Okay. What else? That was actually an easy first combat. What could have happened? First of all, real quickly, if either side rolls a natural 6, by the way, I think that's automatically a loss. Yeah, automatically a loss, and then you still go ahead and compute the result. Both sides can roll a natural 6. Also, what would have happened if, well, let's see, what if Anderson had rolled a 6? First, would have, again, automatically caused a loss 1 to Miller. Anyways, and then let's see, it would have been, then on top of that, it would have been 2 times y. Yeah, I think it would have been 2 times y. So Miller would have been fatigued and a combat test. Okay, so then another die would have been rolled for Miller would have rolled another die, and the results could have been okay, this is where we have the route, which is 1 loss, retreat 3 zones, and route marker, disordered, retreat, melee. Okay, modifiers for command bonus, fatigue 2, -1 per loss greater than 1. Okay, and artillery alone. Oh, and then there's a route test on top of that.